Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Pokemon Gold. It is I, Xilestar, and today we're going to be finishing off the game. So last time we left off, we were just about finished off every one of the gyms in the Kanto region. So we finished, excuse me. So we finished off Johto first, and then we did the Elite Four. And now we're finished with the Cantonian version of the gyms, as we can probably tell. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go fly over to the Elite Four. We're going to go beat them a second time. Now, I feel like I am confusing Heart Gold, Soul Silver with this, right? So, like, I'm confusing, like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver and how it does its sort of end game. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and beat the Elite Four again. So if it is any difference, then hooray. If it's not, then it doesn't really hurt. And I'm currently sick. It's nothing serious. It's more so just I don't want to say anything because it's gross kind of thing. But it's nothing serious. It's just like I get congested a little bit, so sometimes you might hear my voice change, and that's just a congestion kind of thing. So sometimes if you'll hear the microphone get muted, I'm gonna do that through the software instead of through the hardware, so that you guys don't get to hear anything. So we're just gonna use Lugia only, like we did last time, and we'll see what we go with. And we're going to go through the final battle of the game. Now, when we're going through Silver, I am thinking of not doing that. So, yeah. Alright. It looks like he's just going to say his same stuff like he did beforehand. Okay. Alright, let's hope that that'll actually help out a little bit. Alright. Xatu? Oh, 40? Yeah, I don't think he changed the level of his Pokemon. The only one we're going to have a problem with is Koga, so... Oh, I thought that it said, like, something was down. I was like, what? I just healed. Like, I literally just went to the Pokemon Center to heal. Also, something that I wanted to mention is that because this is an older Pokemon game, it doesn't do the calculation, or there was something I read about that they had changed in the later versions. I can't remember when it was. But in the later generations, they changed it so, though, like, if your Pokemon would have, like, one-shotted it, it doesn't let the health bar go very slowly down, just to make you, like, anticipate that, is it down, is it down, is it down? That's why in the newer Pokemon games you'll see that, like, it's almost like it takes like a fraction of a second in order for it to just go from, let's say, full health down to half, and then you're like, oh man, I only did half. It's like, but for these games it takes like a while for you to figure out if you did half or not. And that's kind of the thing that you need to know. So the reason why this is taking a decent while is probably because of that very reason. There we go. 1 of 4 done. Well, technically 1 of 3, but we're also counting the champion. Again, Koga gave us such a hard time last time, so I'm hoping that with Lugia being level 70 now, instead of being, I think, 60-something, we should be fine. I'm not saying the dialogue because I've already said it before, probably. But yeah. It's only on the final battle that we're going to have a really rough time. I'm going to keep in... Like, if I do fail it, like, a bunch of times with what our challenge is supposed to be, which is Lugia only. Where we use a Leisuria. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and we're going to keep repeating over and over and over again until we win. So if this becomes 6 videos, because of that reason, it becomes 6 videos. If it becomes 8 videos, then it becomes 8 videos. If it becomes 10 videos, then it becomes 10 videos. But you guys get to see, like, every attempt that gets happen. Like that happens. I think... See, Aeroblast is our best because we get stab, plus we get that other thing, too. Oh, that's something I wanted to look up too before we do the final battle. Excuse me. Those are evolutionary. Muck. Okay, we're gonna use Shadow Ball. Just trying to see if there's any good held items that I just don't know about. Because this is Gen 2, and Gen 2 was the introduction to these. They do have it? Where? Oh, Crobat survived? What did it survive? Oh, it survived that. That's why. That should take it out in one shot anyway. Okay, well, it says in Celadon you get it, so I'm going to try and keep an eye out for it. I don't know if this actually is true, though. But that'll definitely help out around the whole thing, too. Just seems very odd, though, that this would be the one version that I would have it, though. Oh, it survived? That's interesting. Please don't hit yourself with a confusion, Leisuria. No! That's not gonna do a lot. We're a psychic type. And it can't confuse us because we're already confused. And we're not confused anymore. Good. So the item that I'm trying to figure out is if there's actually a leftovers in this game, and there is. Apparently, it's according to this, it says that it is in Celadon City, which is actually very interesting in my opinion because I did not know that it was in Celadon City, or that it was even in this game. I thought that it was like a Gen 3 item. Yeah, let's go in with at least a decent chunk of HP. Do I have a max elixir, though? Oh, I have a max ether, too. That's awesome. I do have a max elixir. Oh, no, it's not max elixir. It's elixir, isn't it? The one that I'm thinking of. Because max ether fully restores 1 PP of 1 move. Unless in this game, it's different. Well, we'll probably only need, like, what, Icy Wind, I think, in the, we'll only need, like, what, Icy Wind in the champion room. Yeah, so I can't wait to try and go and get that, leftovers. So we could also technically go and get the King's Rock as well, which will allow us the ability to flinch. Which you might be thinking, like, why would we want to be able to flinch? Well, because of the fact that, like, if we're extremely faster than our opponent, we would want to be able to flinch them so that we don't take any damage. Which would also technically just make having... excuse me. Which also make having recover kind of redundant in a way, but that's actually a really good thing, though, because if we actually have the chance of making sure that we don't need to use recover, maybe nearly as much, it means that we can still pump out a lot of damage while also maintaining the fact that, like, we are being, well, extremely smart at the same time. So right now, as I am currently recording this, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just came out with the Samurott raid. I got to it a little bit too late, but it's fine. I got the Samurott, don't get me wrong. I got the Samurott the first wave, but I got to it like when it was just about to leave. I think it leaves in my area at around 7:59 p.m. or something like that, and by the time that I got a hold of it, it was like 3 p.m. So like I had a 4-hour window of doing it, and I had no Pokemon that was specifically trained to deal with it. So I went with my Koraidon, which was max attack, max speed, with a little bit in HP, or whatever is left over in HP, in order for me to actually be able to do it. Because I read somewhere that the Koraidon was actually a really good Pokemon for it. So when I read that, I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So I did, because the event was out for 2 to 3 days kind of thing. Well, this was the 3rd day, right? They had a structure list of like what you should have on your Koraidon and how your turn order should be. Which is usually like Screech for the first 3 turns, then Swords Dance, then Flare Blitz. Once you use Flare Blitz, your Pokemon is down and you get to just sit there and wait for 5 seconds. And then after, it'll reverse all of the changes that you did, which doesn't really make much sense. And then it says like, what did it, I gotta go find that website again. It said something about it. Give me a second, I'm gonna go pull it up. Yeah, so turns 1 to 3, use Screech as much as you can. Screech has 85% accuracy, so you might be able to get 2. I got 3 on my second chance, because on my first one, I accidentally misclicked. Because the game keeps pushing your move up to the top when it's being interrupted. And so when that happens, I get tripped up with that. That's why usually what I do is I usually have my main attacking move on the top. So that when it trips me up, I go, I don't care anymore. My top move is the move I'm using. It's only the setup moves that I need to quickly go, I put it on the bottom, so though I know that they're there. But I'm surprised they still haven't fixed that issue. It wasn't an issue in Sword and Shield, but it is an issue in these games. Which is what's confusing me, is that, like, it is such an easy thing to patch, but they still haven't done it yet. Anyway, so what it does is that for turns 1 to 3, it says to use Screech, then turn 4, use Swords Dance to boost Koraidon's attack stat once the energy shield is up. Then use Flare Blitz to deal super effective damage and destroy the enemy shield. You won't necessarily destroy it. You'll pretty much take out like 95% of its like shield. I don't know why they say that. Maybe it's because they think that you're with other people, and that's why they say it. So that could be why that they're trying to say, hey, you'll pretty much break its shield, because I didn't. it was like at a sliver. So like if one of the NPCs would have just like smashed it with something, it would have broken, and they did. So there's that. Then turn 5, yeah, that's the Flare Blitz to destroy the enemy shield. So pretty much what happens is that I pretty much made the Samurott have -6 defense, and I went +2 in attack, and I Flare Blitzed, and I almost broke the shield, and then I got taken out because of my Flare Blitz. And then it says for turn 6, use Screech if Samurott is at -4 defense, or use Heal Up otherwise, because do not use Sword Stance yet, because Samurott will reset your team stat changes once it falls to 65%. I did see this, and I thought it was hilarious. I think all I did was I used Collision Course instead, because it's NPCs, right? So, yeah, who cares? Then it tells me for turns 7 to 8, use Sword Stance to boost up Koraidon's attack. So pretty much you want to go +4. I think I went +6 and then I Flare Blitzed, but I don't remember off the top of my head if I actually did do that. But I can definitely tell you, though, that, like, the Koraidon that they're saying to use is not my particular favorite. It uses most of the moves that I do, except for the fact that it says to use Screech. I got rid of, I think, my Koraidon's Outrage because that didn't actually work out too well in this battle. For that. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. Yeah. Anyway. So I had a really fun time with it. I like the Samurott one. It's a lot better. The Decidueye one was fine. I had a Pokemon specifically for it, and the funny part is that Pokemon was shiny. I was very happy. I was going... so I went for Belly Bolt because I've never used the Belly Bolt before. I've seen it being used from certain people, and I was like, hey, that's actually sounds like a really cool Pokemon to use. So I wanted to use it myself. So I ended up using it, and oh my god, was it ever such a good pick. But the only problem that I have was what the Decidueye was doing. Not what Belly Bolt was doing, the Decidueye. So Decidueye likes to use extra crit chance moves, because it wants to be able to do as maximum amount of damage, which I can completely agree. I'd want to do the maximum amount of damage, and it was practically using moves that I would use on my Decidueye. The only thing that I had on my Decidueye was Swords Dance, Roost for recovery, Leaf Blade for stab, and Spirit Shackle for stab. Plus, it was also just a really cool move to use. But but if it was pretty much like, but if Shadow Claw had the same stab, I'd probably use Shadow Claw for extra crit chance. And the ability that I would choose, of course, Long Reach. Now, I know that's a hot topic, pretty much, because Long Reach, a lot of people say, is useless. I absolutely love the ability, because it gives physical attackers the chance of being protected. Yay, my rain dance is on, and my Aeroblasts are all gone. Yeah, Gyarados is surviving this. 100%. Yep. Now, is Lance going to sack the Gyarados, or is he going to keep it? That's Rain. That's Rain and Surf from a Gyarados. I expected at least more damage than that. Especially under Rain. Dragonite? You're a fool, Lance. Icy Wind. The only thing I have to worry about is the Charizard. That's it. That's the only one that will actually survive. Okay, I'm gonna go take a look at where the leftovers are in gold, silver. Where's leftovers? There we go. Okay, okay. Cool. Alright, looks like we're gonna get 2 levels from this. And by the way, for Gen 2, this is probably the most amount of training you're gonna be able to give to your high-level Pokemon. Believe me, when I had an actual Pokemon Gold, this is how I got my Lugia to level 100. I got it, like, I didn't get it when Gold came out. I got it way later. I kind of wish that you can actually, like, there was a way when I did get it that you could, like, you could get the save off of it, because, yeah, these games are a lot of fun. But no, there wasn't a way to get the saves off of them, so it was very sad. But now, like, you can just grab the saves now, so it's good. There you go. Koga, the only one that's stressful again. And again, it's because, like, I can't one-shot every Pokemon he has yet. And our stat coverage, or not stat coverage, what am I thinking? I'm just gonna skip this. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip this. But most of our, what's it called? Most of our type coverage on our Lugia is actually really good. Luxuria. Nice. There we go. You be quiet. And there's a skip button. I thought there was a skip button. No? Alright. So we can go to Silicon City. It says in the diner it should have it. I believe I know what building that they're talking about, so we can easily go there. So we're going to be facing the final boss. Now, as I was explaining earlier before, I don't know what I want to do for Silver and for Crystal. So if a lot of people want me to go do the final battle for those, I don't mind. I may try them anyway. But if I don't win kind of thing, I might not continue onward with it. Now, there's one thing that I do want to mention, though, before we are going to do anything. I do understand that there are roaming legendaries in these games. Don't get me wrong, I understand it. There are roaming legendaries in these games. But I'm not going to go do them. For one simple reason and one simple reason only. Why? Why would I go do go for a roaming legendary if, first of all, we're not going to be using it? And second of all, I can't even properly track them down. Like if this was like Gen 4, I don't know how Heart Gold Soul Silver you could do it, but I know for like if this was like Diamond and Pearl kind of thing where you could use the Poketch and you can figure it out, that's a different story. I'll definitely do it then because it's easier for me to track them. But for like games like this, like in order for you to check it, first of all, you have to find them initially. And when you do, you have to do this. I think there's a skip button. Oh yeah, there is. Let's see what we have down here. Alright, and then you gotta go figure out where it is. I think it's in one of these three. Then you click A. So I'll just use Lugia as an example. and you do this, and then here's how you find it. It tells you exactly where you are. So it'll have a little like little beast icon. Hang on, we'll find another Pokemon so that we can show it off. So you see that little thing at the top right corner, where the looks like the dragon's den is? That's what it looks like, but it'll be on the little roads that you'll find them in. The best way to find them is to get a level 40 Pokemon. When you get a level 40 Pokemon, make sure that the opposing Pokemon cannot leave. The reason why you want to use a level 40 Pokemon is because of the fact that you can use Repel. The only Pokemon that can spawn are Pokemon that are of the same level or higher. The 3 legendary dogs, I believe in this game, are level 40. Luxurio, Togepi, we don't need that. Sudowoodo, Flash, we don't need that. Flyer. We need our Flyer. Teleport Boy. Teleport Boy is also our Flasher now, so. And then Ready, because he is always ready. So apparently you have leftovers. So you can just skip our whole little adventure. Do we have a full party of 6? We do. Okay. Yeah, because here's what we gave Luxuria as the item. We gave Luxuria the Sharp Beak, so though Aeroblast, when it does land, it would actually be able to hit harder. Sacred Ash, Smoke Ball, Amulet Coin, Miracle Seed. You do have leftovers. Okay, so leftovers are in this game. I don't want to take the Snorlax's one because I still want it to be authentic, blah, 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 blah. So we're just going to go and do the more dumb thing that we should be able, that we're going to be doing, which is we're going to fly to Goldenrod, and what we're going to do there is we're going to go take the train back to Kanto. I'm going to go back to the Elite Four, but this time we're going to be going to go towards the... Oh, I'm a fool. I need to go up. And over here, I think. So right now, I'm currently working on something very cool for the Craft series. If you're new to that and you don't understand what I'm talking about, Craft is my Minecraft series that we do whenever we do a new version of Minecraft. Pretty much there's little to no rules to the server. We just ask that you make sure that if the person claims that that their like a certain building or whatever as their main base, you leave it alone. But every other thing, like if they have a farm that's right next to it, as long as it is not connected in any way, shape, or form, bubble column... See, we were thinking about how bubble column elevators, like being shipped around, counts. No, this is the game corner, isn't it? No, the diner's down here, I think. I think it's like right here. There you go. Nice. So, like we were thinking about like how we wanted to do it kind of thing, and we like how do we want to distinguish that? Because obviously bubble column elevators are actually really good, but how do we differentiate between like if it's considered a part of the structure, right? So we're going to be making a vote in the before the next version, and I'll be telling you guys of what we have decided to put for that. And the reason why that we're trying to decide if it counts as a part of the structure or not is because if the only thing that's separating you is just water, then does it really count? Because if the only thing that's separating you is water, you can easily rebuild it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, Lucian attacked my base, of course. Or a friend of mine attacked my base. His name's Lucian. He attacked my base. But, like, I didn't claim that, like, oh, he broke my base, so he needs to be banned or anything like that. No, it's just harmless fun. I was the first one on the server to get bees. We were looking everywhere for them, and we didn't know where they spawned either. So, like, we were trying to look around. We weren't using the wiki. We wanted to see if we could find it on our own. So, of course, like, we were looking around and trying to find it on our own, like, sort of thing to make it much more interesting for us. I was the one who found it. I was, like, 50,000 blocks or something, or some odd that were away from spawn. So, I found bees, and then he got really angry, but then he found bees later on, and then everything was all good. Hello there, dear sir. This is the way that leads to Mount Silver. I see scary strong Pokemon out there. What? Are you joking? That's weird. Okay. Maybe you have to go to Professor Oak's thing? How come it takes me so long just to get the freaking ballot down, man? No, so I think maybe you have to go to Professor Oak. Maybe he gives you something that gets you go. Draft this is good of you to come over to Bay Kanto. What do you think of the trainers out here? Pretty tough, huh? Nope, they're pretty easy. There you go. No, stop. Don't trick that area. Don't trick me into that. That's not nice, Professor Oak. If that is your real name. Okay. So yeah, so like that's what happened when we switched over to Minecraft 1.15, and then when we switched over to Minecraft 1.16, we just resetted our nether only because all 1.16 did was just add features to the nether, so we just deleted the nether. If there was ever actually anything that was going to change the overworld, so let's say they added a new biome, or they changed a lot of the spawn rates of diamonds or emeralds and stuff like that, then we would have changed the overworld map as well. But because the only thing that they changed was just the nether, we decided that the nether would be just the only thing that would be reset. So pretty much when 1.16 was first introduced, and like their first snapshot, pretty much, we said, hey everyone, if you want to go get your nether stuff, do it right now, because the nether is going to be reset once 1.16 comes out, because it is confirmed that it is a nether update, and we will be wiping our nether. So if you've built anything in the nether, hopefully you get whatever you want out of it, because it's going to get wiped. Because it is not coming back. And this was back when we were using, I think, a free service, I think. Was it? Yeah, I think we were using a free service. Which, I gotta say, though, they were pretty okay when we were needing to just... When I was trying to figure out why, for some reason, my computer wasn't able to distribute the server anymore. And until I was able to figure out why that was happening, I found out it was the router. It wasn't programmed to be able to allow you to make the server. Anyway, so when we had it on that free service, we were able to play and do all the normal stuff that we wanted to do in Minecraft. So it was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with it. So I don't know in Gen 2 if you actually need HMs. So we're going to keep everybody in there. But if Lejuria dies, we have to restart. We have to restart the final battle. That's the rule. We are allowed to use items if the opposing person uses items. I could just grab like a map, but I'd rather just have you guys see too. Okay. I don't care about items right now. But here's how strong the Pokemon are. Oh my god, they're level 40. Oh, it's fine. We're actually pretty high leveled, so I'm not surprised though that like... but before the final battle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the game after we use up all of our what do you call it, rare candies on Lejuria. And the reason why that I want to use up all the rare candies specifically on Lejuria at that moment is because we need all the levels we can get a hold of. And plus we need all the training that we can get a hold of too. And I know that right now we're doing something, I don't want to say experimental, we're doing something different with StarCraft this version. Is this the thing? Yes, this is the thing. Okay. Alright, so here's the final battle. We're going to use rare candy. Yep, we're going to use the 3 rare candies on Lejuria. Just going to... no. There you go. Alright, Lejuria is now level 79, close to level 80. We're going to save the game. Lejuria now has leftovers, which means that at the end of every turn, Lejuria will get at least a little bit of HP back. Should be fine. Alright. Okay, apparently I can't click A on him. Weird. Just going to save the game right up to him. Just so that we could just quickly just click A and just get into it. Alright. Alright. Final battle time. Let's go. Alright, this one's gonna be the stressful one for, like, Silver when we only have Ho, because Ho is not that strong. Oh, hey, Pikachu. Level 81. Oh, I guess it's in the newer games. I guess it's hard gold so Silver that it's level 88. Okay, Shuttle Ball. This might take it out in one shot. Maybe not. Oh my word, okay. I hate that so much. It's like, is it taking it out in one shot? Is it not? Don't know. Okay, this one might be a little tough because Blastoise is pretty bulky, I think, between the 3 Kanto starters. Or at least is like mixed in everything. And not to mention that it probably has an ice move. And I can't pivot either unless it uses like whirlwind stuff. I'm gonna use Aeroblast to take you out, right? Yeah, Aeroblast. Yes. I need to keep my Aeroblast for only 2 Pokemon, I think. There's one Pokemon that I have to sit there and hold it. No, really? I guess it really wanted the rain. Interesting. Alright, Shadow Ball should take it out now. That is even if that Pokemon is actually in this version. Wait, in rain, your Blizzard landed. That doesn't make any sense. Unless you got lucky with the... There you go. Leftovers is going to help out with a little bit of recovery. Icy Wind. It'll be taken out now. Yeah, there's no reason for it not to take you out now. Alright. Let's see what we got next. Easy. Oh, I think I might be thinking of a different of the Heart Gold Soul Silver version where there's different Pokemon. This is gonna take it out in one shot, 100%. No way Espeon survives this. I went through all Pokemon Insurgents with pretty much an Espeon. No way I don't know its stats by now. Actually, I don't know its stats because special and physical are the same. Huh. I'm gonna use Icy Wind. I want to see how much Icy Wind does in terms of damage. If it's a 3-hit KO, it's fine. Yikes, that is not a 3-hit KO. Special defense. Okay, so do not use Icy Wind anymore. That's fine. Aeroblast. Oh my word, it's taking forever. Oh, we got the crit. Let's go. All right. I was actually kind of hoping that this would actually take longer. I'm not joking. I thought this was going to be like the toughest thing where even if I used Aeroblast, they would survive at like half HP and they would be using their like flamethrowers or Fire Blast and just kind of like making me get tucked into the corner going like, oh no, I don't know if I could win. Oof. That's fine. Bye-bye. So the last one that's left is Venusaur. Cool. I mean, if this was supposed to be my Pokemon Yellow team, there should be no other Pokemon. There should be no such thing as an Espeon or Snorlax on the team. It should just be the starters. Alright, Aeroblasts. Wrap this up. Pleasuria. Win. Bye-bye. Venusaur's done. Wow, we haven't even hit the 3 video mark yet. And this thing's down. I couldn't even say that we could make this like into a 3 video 15 minutes. We haven't even hit that yet. Okay then. So as I said, if you guys want me to do this in Pokemon Silver, I don't mind. The only thing that I'm more concerned with is that my typing may not be the best. And because from what I've seen of Ho in particular, it is not the most bulky Pokemon. It is more aggressive where it can one-shot, whereas Lugia is more defensive, which what I'm more comfortable with. Hey Lugia, I can be safe knowing that you can survive any hit and you can recover that damage. Meanwhile, Ho is like, did it just hit? Did it just get it? Am I going down? Am I going down? Right? So I don't want to go through that, but like if you guys want it, I can do it. Pokemon Crystal, we're going to be doing something different. Although I would have rather that it would have been near perfect, but yeah, we're going to do what we can anyway. So it should be fine. But yeah, so like if you guys enjoyed, definitely. I definitely enjoyed this. I know that I've only ever been able to record only 6 videos a time. And this one's probably going to end up being 4, so I have to kind of make up like 20 minutes of video pretty much, right? But as I said though, like if you guys enjoyed, please show your consideration to it, because I actually enjoyed this game too. The only thing that I am sad though is that like I wish I would have recorded more beforehand, so though when Pokemon Scarlet was just about to be finished to being uploaded on the channel, I would have been able to just throw this series in there and go, ah yes, it's done now. I can relax now. Because I technically wasn't able to do that because of the fact that, first of all, I was stressed around the week that it was about to end, where I was able to just about enough, where I was just about to get enough time in order to record for Scarlet, but not enough to record for this and be able to find out how many videos I needed. Meanwhile, Scarlet, well, Scarlet's pretty easy for me to do. So I was like, it depends on what I was doing at the moment. And because I was worried about more of Pokemon Scarlet than I was worried about this game, unfortunately, I was going towards more Scarlet. So that's why you guys got an extra session of Scarlet, and that was starting to get uploaded before this even came back on. And right now you guys are also getting even more Pokemon content because my Pixelmon Adventures series is also technically Pokemon related. I haven't done anything pretty much in terms of Minecraft. I've only been doing things towards Pixelmon. So it's like you guys are getting like 3 doses of Pokemon, and there's no Minecraft happening. There is only like other stuff that's happening. So yeah, so I'm actually very surprised that we were able to do all that, to be fair. Like, well, how strong is Luxuria, though? Oh, yeah, there's nothing that could take us out down in one shot. And our attack and special attack's pretty even, and we have 252 speed. That's not too bad, actually. 252 speed is nothing to laugh at, either. Let's see, does that Snorlax hit the 200s in any way? Because it's like higher level than anything else on the team. Other than the Lugia. No, it just hits the 100s. But then again, we've been getting... Oh, they call it something different than EVs in this game. But yeah. But that is incredible that we were able to do all that. Alright, so that's Pokemon Gold. If you want to leave now, because pretty much nothing's going to be happening. Yeah, so as I said a long time ago, back during probably Red, Blue, and Yellow time, where I said that one of the things that I want to do in particular is that I want to be able to move these Pokemon over to Pokemon Home or Bank or whatever you want to call it, pretty much, and get them all moved over so that way, though, like, I can distribute them to having, like, you guys have them as well, because I definitely would love to have them being shared by people, of course. Now that means that the 2 Lugias, the starter that we had, will obviously probably have some issues, but I can easily just fix that so though like the game just reads it as normal. That's the only thing. Same idea with the Ho-Oh as well for Pokemon Silver. That I can easily just fix. And whatever I do for Pokemon Crystal, I'll have to double check that. But yeah. But that's pretty much how it is though too. So between like those are going to be what we're going to be doing, and then for Scarlet and for the ones that we do for the series, for the initial one for the channel. So like if I do like I did Pokemon Brilliant Diamond for the channel, those Pokemon I won't freely give out because they were used for the story, but also they were used just so that the channel would have that Pokemon game on display. Same thing with Pokemon Scarlet. Those Pokemon were on display already, so you get to know already what they are. Now, I have a link. I don't know where I have it anymore. I had it somewhere. It's probably a Google Doc that I don't remember. And I don't remember which one had it. Oh, wait. Maybe it's not a Google Doc. Wait. Hang on a second. I'm thinking of something else here. I'm gonna go and block it just in case there's a bunch of sound that happens. It's not showing anything. What a weird thing. Anyway. Let's see if I could find it out, because I could definitely like show you guys like how I ended up grabbing or making the stats for the Pokemon. That's That's the Avalon thing. Yeah, that's that. Oh, do I not have it anymore? Then it has to be a Google Doc. There's no other way. I thought it was a Pasteman one, but I guess not. Oh, no, I was working on Avalon spoilers. That's right. So it is a Google Doc then. I'm a fool. I thought it wasn't. And I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. I just went to my email. Hooray! I'll pull it up. Don't worry. I'll pull it up because I really want to show it. So I can also talk about it too. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. This is what I wanted. All right. It's not all the Pokemon, but it's pretty darn close. Okay. So let's see here. I can close those. You don't need to know that, and you don't need to know that either. Add a new. Let's go with window capture. I'm gonna go pause the recording, and I'm gonna be right back. Alright, sorry for that little pause. So this is pretty much the actual window for all of my Pokemon that I used for my Let's Play, or for my playthrough. And not to mention, though, that these were also the Pokemon that I made later on as well. So these are the stats that I'm using. For the next Pokemon Scarlet video, I'll probably have more Pokemon on here, so you guys get to play around with it as well. These are the ones that I found were pretty okay for what I did my research on in particular. So I'm going to say one thing in particular that I want to mention right off the bat. So when I first played Pokemon Sword and Shield and I needed to EV train Pokemon, I never believed in having any stat lower than what is required. So it's either 252 or it is 6. There is no in between. Since Pokemon Sword and Shield, it changed my mind into that, where I could put 192 in every stat because that is what you could do inside of the what was it, the Poke Job thing for Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it'll increase your thing will increase the stat by 96 normally, and depending on what I don't know how the power items work, I never used it, but if you gave the Pokemon a Macho Brace. Oh, you're still kind of seeing that. That's not what I wanted. I have to go stretch it again. Oh, I guess I'll have to stretch it this way. There we go. But for the Macho Brace, it doubled it, which means that it would go from 96 to like 192, I think. And so with that, I ended up going into a new thing where I ended up going like, you know what, 192 and everywhere. So I think one of my Zamazentas is literally 192 in like 2 of its stats, and the rest is in health kind of thing, or attack or something like that. So for my starter, I ended up giving it max speed and max attack with whatever is left over into HP, because again, that is pretty much what we want. We want to make sure that our starter is pretty strong. Same thing with the Skeledirge. Now this one I looked online, and this one seemed like it was the better stat spread that I could agree with, because there's no point in going speed investment with Skeledirge because it is too slow of a Pokemon, and special attack is because it is a special attacker, and the HP is because it is bulky, and if you want to use it in raids, you're not going to be losing much. Because your HP is not 252, but it's darn close, so you can still use it in raids and you'll be fine. My Skeledirge is a Assault Vest, like special attacker. So like it has all the special moves that it can have, which unfortunately is not a lot, as I would love to believe. I'm glad that I can still look up Cerebian and like I know you guys can't see it though, but like I'm glad that I can actually do it without You guys seeing it, because that is something else. Alright. I could just search up Skeledirge, I think. Because I think mine has Torch Song, because that is its signature move. Plus it also gives it +1 special attack every time he uses it. I gave it Shadow Ball because stab. I had to give it Disarming Voice because there was no other good special move that I could find, that I could learn. And Earth Power. That's it. I could have given it Terra Blast, but unfortunately, because I didn't have enough Terra Crystals, there was no point. But if I could give it a status move, I would probably give it Curse, I think. But nah, it's a bit too mythy on that, or I would have given it Slack Off, which would have been an amazing thing, because then I would have gotten Recovery, which is an amazing tool to use. And the last starter that I was able to get a hold of, the Quinquavel, or Sombria as I like to call it, because I kind of wanted to reference this, what's it called, Samba dance kind of thing. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong. But I thought that would be kind of cool, and I wanted to kind of add some flair to it, so that's why I named it Sombria. Thought it was really funny. And I thought it was really kind of cool, too. So I gave Sombria the same stat spread as my Sprig, but it has a different move pool because apparently, for some reason, the Pokemon that looks like it is dancing everywhere can't learn a move called Swords Dance. Anyway, so I gave the Sombria its signature move, Aqua Step, which is a very good, high powerful physical water move that allows it to boost up its speed every time it uses it, so it's amazing. Then I also gave it, I think it was not Brick Break, but I could give it Brick Break, but I gave it, or not Brick Break, Drain Punch. I could give it Drain Punch, but I didn't. I think I gave it Brick Break instead. Then I gave it Bulk Up, which is not really what I wanted. I wanted to give it Swords Dance, so you take one turn in order to go +2 attack. But yeah. And then after that, I ended up giving it Ice Spinner. The reason why I gave it Brick Break is because you want to break through barriers. It's pretty much what you want. It might be a different move, but I'm thinking that that's exactly what I did. And the item that I gave it was Shell Bell because Recovery. Because you don't really need to worry about going +1 attack nearly as much because of its hidden ability. Moxie allows it to continuously do it. The Skeledirge also has like Unaware as its ability, but I don't really bother with that one, to be fair. Like, I know mine does have it, but I don't really think it matters that much. Xilestar, I think I've already showed off what it was. I don't really think I gotta go double check its move pool and such. But yeah, like, Xilestar is like, this is its stat spread. It's got max defense, max attack, and max health. I think it's because it's got decent special defense. The only thing that I would like for its ability, and I think I gave it already, is the Purifying Salts, which allows it to be protected by I think it protects it from status, as well as there's another thing too. Let me go double check that out. Garganical. I'll just search up Garganical. Protects it from status conditions and has damage from ghost type moves. So it gains a resistance to Ghost, even though it is neutral, so it just, it's fine. Because I think mine had Sturdy. And Clear Body is also pretty nice, but nah. Purifying Salts is probably way better, because you get rid of the whole status condition thing. And then Ceruledge Edge, Captain Kidd. We all know who Captain Kidd is. Captain Kidd was our main star of the game. I ended up changing all of its EVs to be max attack, max special, not max special, max speed with a little whatever's left over in health, still keeping Bitter Blade and Shadow Claw as its main stab moves, Swords Dance to boost, and we can switch between Psycho Cut or Poison Jab. I prefer Poison Jab because then you want something to deal with pesky fairies in case they actually show up on the field. Kilowattrel or Vulture Bird. Now, I had bad experience with this bird in particular because it wasn't doing enough damage, even though I did the research and found out that it was a special attacker. Later on, when I went to the judge, I found out that it has no special attack in its IVs. And that's why it wasn't doing a lot of damage. So, in light of that, I ended up making mine pretty much be hyper trained to have it, but have the similar stats. And Kilowattrel also doesn't really have the greatest move pool, unfortunately. It only knows 3 special moves that are, well, 3 types of special moves. It's got the flying ones, which are usually not perfect in accuracy for whatever reason. They're either like 95 or 90, which is really bad. And Thunderbolt is pretty much what I gave mine. And Terra Blast is the final special move. So, yeah, not the greatest. And then the next one, which is my favorite, Tinkaton or Twinextra. I love it. I love it so much. I gave it a really nice pool. So for Tinkaton in particular, you want it to be bulky because you want it to actually use its bulk. But for my playthrough in particular, I always liked it to attack. So I gave it the stat spread that I thought was pretty good. Giving it 4 in health so that it has a little bit of recovery, or it has a little bit of bulk to it. 192 in attack and defense. The attack is just so though we get to do at least a decent amount of damage with Gigaton Hammer. And we also get to do a decent amount of defensive capabilities because of that as well. Because we didn't go full into attack, we can throw in some into our defense. And I also threw in 122 in special defense just to be able to absorb that bulk. The reason why I didn't go much into the special defense is because Twinextra was the first Pokemon that I had that had the Assault Vest, which means that it boosts special defense by 50%, I think, or something like that. So we don't really need to worry about anything about that. So that's good. The only other reason why I ended up giving it the Assault Vest was because I didn't know if Twinextra was bulky or not. It kind of looks like a tiny thing that looks like it's a glass cannon. So I thought that it would actually be perfect. The only move pool that I ended up giving it was Gigaton Hammer, Play Rough, Pounce, I think, and Brick Break. Those were the only 4 moves that I ended up ever giving Twinextra, and I'm going to keep that. Xilestar, or Mortrice, as I have called it. Mortrice was a very interesting choice because Regenerator Shed Tail is actually a really nice strategy. So what I did is I went max health, of course I did, because we want to go and take advantage of that. Now, Mortrice, we don't really want to do always that strategy because it's very, very predictable. So I made it have 192 in attack, and because Xilestar is naturally very fast, I made sure that we didn't really go too much into that. So I ended up going with 66 speed. And pretty much, we already know what its move pool is. Crunch, Dragon Claw, Shed Tail, and Rapid Spin. I gave it Rapid Spin because just in case there's any setters, we can just remove them and go, haha, I'm now gone, Shed Tail. And then they have to deal with it again. Muddy. Now this one I haven't done it yet. I don't know why yet, but I haven't done it as of this moment. Which I'm going to do probably after this recording. So Muddy is 66 health, just to give it a little bit of bulk, 252 in defense, and 192 in special defense. Again, just making Muddy very, very bulky. The reason why is because Muddy is not very strong and is not very fast. So we just want to be able to tank a lot of hits and be able to just keep on hitting as much as we can to do that damage. Now, Muddy's nature is going to be like Brave, so though it has more attack and it just has no speed because, again, Muddy is too slow in order to actually be able to fully utilize the speed. Now, Baxcalibur, or what I named it, Baxter, I gave it the normal physical stat spread, 252 attack and speed, and 6 health. I don't know what my move pool is, but I'm having second thoughts of it because of something that I actually heard about a strategy for it. And same thing with Twinextra, but I actually like what I do with Twinextra anyway, so I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to definitely implement it into Baxter instead. So what it is that when you're using a move that is very, very detrimental, so like Gigaton Hammer, where it's a high attack, but you can't use it on the second turn, and same thing with Baxcalibur, where you use, I think it's called Glaive Rush, where you get to do so much damage, and then the next turn, you take double the damage. You can just use Protect on that second turn. So I'm going to use that for Baxter. But I could also use it for Twinextra, but for Twinextra, you have Play Rough, you have Pounce, you have, like, Brick Break, you have other moves that you can use, right? I know Baxter does too, but Baxter's is more like hurtful than Twin Ixtra's is. And the next one, Iron Valiant. This Iron Valiant is my shiny one that I was able to get a hold of, which I ended up giving it max speed and attack and health, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to go too much on topic of that. Pretty much what I ended up giving it was the... I ended up giving it like a normal, like 4-move spread specifically for it. That I would think if you were going to go with a physical Iron Valiant, which was whatever it came with as the fairy move. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like False Surrender or something like that. Spirit Break, sorry. I gave it Spirit Break. I gave it, I think, Psycho Cut. I also gave it, what's the other one? It's Psycho Cut, and then there was a, like, I thought I could learn Sacred Sword too, unless I'm wrong on that. Yeah, I don't know its moves off the top of my head. I'd have to load up the game. But yeah, like I gave it a very... Oh, I gave it Leaf Blade as well. I gave it a really nice move pool that it could hit decently around every type that it needs to. But that's it. Like, I could pretty much just give the Iron Maiden pretty much like the what do you call it? Like a choice band, and it would fully utilize it. But I wouldn't do that. I'd probably just give it... I think I gave it... Can it learn Swords Dance? Because I think I'd just give it Swords Dance and then do it. Because I think that's a lot of a lot better idea. Yeah, I can learn Swords Dance, so I think I gave it Swords Dance as well as its final move. And then of course Koraidon or Toothless, because the sound effect made me reminded me of that Lovable movie. This is the stat spread that I used that I ended up going against that 7-star raid of the 7-star raid of the Samurott. So 6 health, 252 attack, and 252 speed. Again, nothing really too weird about that, to be fair. The move pool that I ended up deciding on using, and I'll probably get told that like I'm probably doing it very wrong. I don't care. I gave a Collision Course because it is a really nice move, and if you are getting, because you are getting stab, and if you are hitting something that is weak against it, you're doing double the damage as well as double the damage, so might as well. I gave it Outrage for stab, mainly because of the fact that like is a very high powerful move. And Dragon Claw wasn't really cutting it, but like if we were playing on like, let's say on the Let's Play or the playthrough kind of thing, I would definitely switch it over for Dragon Claw just to be a little bit more stable in terms of it, but it's fine. I gave it Swords Dance so that we could set up a little bit. That sounds like a very nice idea to me. Then the last move that I gave it was Flare Blitz, which the reason why is because of the way that the Koraidon works is that when it gets sent out, what it does is it generates the sun and it boosts its attack. So because it sets up the sun already, Flare Blitz is already going up by 50%, which means that pretty much it means that the Koraidon technically gets stab, if you think of it that way. And because it gets stab of fire without any of the weaknesses, you get all the benefits of it. So pretty much you get to hit very hard. And if you go +2, guess what you're doing? You're going +2 as well as being able to hit. So pretty much when the Blissey raids were happening, I'm very sad that they're gone. They were really nice. Same thing with the Delibirds. But when the Blissey raids were happening, I was having a really fun time with them because if I would go against the bug or the fire one, I think those are the only ones I would ever need to use Flare Blitz, I think. I would go with my Koraidon, I would use Swords Dance twice, and then Flare Blitz, and then they're completely dead. And then I'm done, and then the raid happens, and blah, 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 and then the next one. Anyway. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that raid, specifically just using Koraidon, just going like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a bomb, and then breaks everything. So yeah, so these are the only ones that are there that I actually ended up doing. The reason why that I don't actually that I didn't actually show these out is because I didn't know where they were, where it was, and plus, like, it's kind of figures though, like what I would do with it. The only thing that I can think of off the top of my head of why I don't like to show that off is because, like, I particularly only ever look up Pokemon like move pools or stats or move sets or something like that just to get an idea. Like, if I go to Smogon, let's say, and look up a Dragonite, I don't go and copy everything. I go, okay, so what's your strategy here? Your strategy is to use Dragon Claw because it's stab, but if you want more power, but with a little bit more of a, like, you want to be a little bit more dangerous, go Outrage. It's like, okay, I can see why you're going with that. Yeah, more damage. Or you go with more consistency. It's like, I see the difference. Like, yeah. Like, I take in both sides of the point. I don't go and go, okay, my Pokemon now. I don't do that. Because I find that just takes away of the creativity from it. Same thing with my Twin Extra. My Twin Extra, like, everybody says to just go with, like, go all defensive. Don't even go towards, like, attack. And then just use your nature to boost up your attack. And then because Gigaton Hammer is already very strong, and it's like, but I like to use Gigaton Hammer, and I'd like to make sure that it's pretty strong. And my Twin Extra is pretty bulky. Like, practically nothing can take it out. Like, even when I went against a Dragon Blissey, like, that thing has never taken down Twin Extra. And it was using Seismic Toss all throughout, which does maximum of 75 damage, and my Twin Extra can't even recover from that. I just Gigaton Hammer, play rough, Gigaton Hammer, play rough. By the time that my, like, third Gigaton Hammer is live, I can just terrestrialize, and then I get bigger hammer. I get a hammer and an axe hat. So it's fine. Alright, so I think I'm done talking about all of this stuff. So I'll see you guys in Pokemon Silver, pretty much. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for some more Pokemon.